He's got to meet with Pat Mcdonough today. What'd you think?
He's got my vote.
Today, Dundalk TV is with Pat Mcdonough, and we're at the reenactment at Defenders Day. But we had a moment to come over and take a look at the hospital at Fort Howard. So, Pat, what is your feelings about what is happening here?
Well, number one, there's been a lot of politics, a lot of misinformation, a lot of game playing with the community and the veterans. And this is a kind of project that's crying out for leadership. As a congressional candidate and as a potential congressman who will be responsible for this project to a great extent, my intention is very simple. Number one, I think we need to provide leadership. All of the various interests must be brought together and to decide quickly, and I mean quickly, on what project we can put in this area. The project has to meet two standards. One, it must be in the best interest of the community, and number two, it must be in the best interest of the veterans. Beyond all of that, no more gameplay, no more hidden agendas, no more special interests or developers in the background calling the shots to either delay the project or to deny the project. And this has been shameful, in my opinion. Congressman Ruppersberger has either stood on the sidelines or has manipulated behind the scenes. This project's been here a long time. The veterans have been abused, in my opinion, and I think that is shameful. So we don't need people in Congress or in politics who are going to play games, really don't seem to have any integrity when it comes to our veterans in particular. To me, in my lifetime, I could never, ever do something like that. So as a congressman representing this area, leadership, bring everybody together, move quickly, best interest of the community, best interest of the veterans. Very simple plan. That's what I stand for.
Well, to me, this is a crime to have this building sitting here and closing it and having our veterans out there struggling and can't get help. Some of them are taking their own lives and they just can't get the help. To me, this is a perfect place on the Patapsco River and the Chesapeake Bay for someone to do rehabilitation. Now, you had a little meeting with some people from the community. What kind of impact does that make on your feelings about what's happening here?
Well, it's exciting because it clearly shows us, it demonstrates that these are intelligent people who are sincere. They want to get things done. This thing has been kicked around and played with by politicians for so long. It's frustrating, it's shameful, and the potential, as you just pointed out, is enormous. All it needs is honest people coming together with a plan and an idea that works for everybody. Bringing people together, not dividing them, not denying them information, not hiding behind developers and phony agendas. This is a disgrace, what has happened down here, a disgrace. And I've seen it occurring since I've been in office. And to take a beautiful project like this, which, look at the entire veterans issue. Where has Dutch been? He claims he does things for veterans. Yes, he does things like get them some extra mileage on airplanes. But when it comes to the budget, he's an Obama clone. Obama and Dutch are responsible for all of the ills and all of the problems that our veterans have faced. It has been Ruppersberger and Obama's Veterans Administration. That leadership or lack of leadership has been harmful and dangerous. Veterans have died as a result of a lack of quality care. It is absolutely shameful. And I can tell you, as a congressman, I'm not perfect. I don't have all the answers. But that's not going to ever happen while I'm your representative. And this may sound like a political speech, but I'm going to tell you something. This is how I am. And people who have known me in office at the state level know that that's how I approach government. Forthright, honest, open, bring people together and produce a winning solution.
Okay, Pat, well, how about let's take a little drive around the property and see what it looks like and take a little look at the waterfront as well.
Right.
Okay, before we do that, we're just going to show a little bit about how this looks here. As Pat said, it is shameful. Okay, Pat, so we took a little ride around the property. We couldn't see it all because they have it roped off, but what do you think about the property here at Fort Howard?
Well, it reminds me that, you know, not only is this something that has a great future if it's treated properly and there's leadership and honesty involved, has a wonderful future for our young veterans. We are in active war status. We are still fighting the war on terrorism, Islamic terrorism, and the fact of the matter is we're not fighting it strong enough. But the young veterans are getting injured, they're dying, they're fighting for liberty, and are they not entitled to some kind of a beautiful environment? This is a lot better than Green Street, that's for sure. But also it has great historical significance. As a history buff, I'm very familiar with what happened down here. Not far from here, Wells and McComas, two teenage sharpshooters shot and killed the most famous British general, General Ross, who helped to defeat Napoleon and was considered a war hero, like General MacArthur, who actually lived here for a period of time. And this is the great historical spot. So not only is this an area, a project with a wonderful future for our veterans, but in an interesting historical perspective, it reflects back on the veterans and the American fighting men and women of that time period and how they preserved the United States after the second invasion. It was called the Second Revolution in a sense because the British wanted to take the country back and they did not succeed, mainly because of the battle here and the battle. This is a wonderful spot with great history, a great environment, just absolutely gorgeous. And we need to be very proud of its history, but we need to work hard that not only does it have a history, but it has a future.